Okay, so welcome everybody here, and today is 28th, and this is our second session of GeoGebra, which is slightly above or for the next level of beginners. But don't worry, because everything in GeoGebra is new for everybody. So if you missed some of the things previously, don't worry. There are some videos which I have recorded. You can watch and learn. But now let me actually take you to the GeoGebra. So this is the website, geogebra.org. And if you have your account, that's great. Otherwise, please create your account and you can sign in there. So you can see my name here. And if I go to my profile, I can see you can edit anytime this profile. Some of you may use school ID, don't worry. That's perfectly fine. You just need to use any valid email ID. And anytime you can switch, because I was using my school ID before, then I left the school. Now I'm using my other ID, but I have access to everything what I have been using previously. So first of all, this is the home page of GeoGebra. If you stay on the screen and you scroll down, scroll up and down, you will see there are lots of things which are resources for you to use. And these are math apps which we can use. Notes. Notes is another app in GeoGebra where you can integrate everything. GeoGebra software plus like a Microsoft notebook, something like that. You can write. And if you go to profile, definitely I told you that it will take you to your profile and your page on GeoGebra. Look at the stuff which I have created. So everything will be here for you. So for 3D, definitely we'll discuss something today. And I'll show you a few of the things, how you can actually create that stuff. Okay, now to get started with any activity or anything you want to do on GeoGebra, first of all, I would like to request you go to app downloads. Do not download any app, but on this home page, app download page has every application. So this is 3D calculator. We are going to come to this later at the end of the session. But right now, I'm going to go either on Classic 6 or Classic 5. You can also download the software. I mean to say you can work offline. If internet is the problem for you, then you can actually download this software and you can save your work. Don't worry, you can access anytime. And CAS is something which is algebra calculator, but university students they use. But in classroom, yes, you can use to show few things to your students. And graphing calculator, and there is geometry is dedicated to geometry only. So I'm going to go to Classic 6. As soon as you click on start, you will be on this page where you can again go to any page. Look at this on the right hand side: graphing, geometry, 3D, CAS, spreadsheet, probability. Now recently probability has become a new page, new app, I mean to say. So anything related to probability, I mean to say normal distribution and other things which are usually in higher grades. So you can use this thing. Now on this platform, you can see this is the menu. So on this menu, the first thing is this on top left, which if I click on this, it shows me move, freehand, and pen. Next will show point. Anything related to point, it will be here. Point, point on object, attach, intersect, midpoint, complex number, extremum, roots, etc. Then when you go to line, then this is something line, segment, ray, polyline, vector, etc. As soon as you scroll or hover your mouse on any particular thing, you will see the instructions at the bottom. So let's say right now my cursor is on polyline. So polyline instructions are there. Select all vertices and then something else. Same thing You can explore other things as well here. Polygons, and then circle, sectors, etc. Ellipse, hyperbola, parabola, angle, slope, list, relation. Function inspector is something which, if you want to inspect any function, so you want to actually go in detail of that function, derivatives, maxima, minima, roots, etc. So just one click will give you every information of that function. If required, please ask, I will show you that. Okay, so next is reflect. This is basically on geometry and for animation purpose. Dilate, translate, rotate, reflect, reflect about the line. Here is the slider, which we tried to use last time as well. And today also we are going to use. And button images, because you can add images and it will go in your back part of this, like you can say as a background of this whole graph. Text, you can actually write any text. Let's say you are creating one activity for your students and you want to add a text. Please go ahead, add a text. Here it's just about the windows. So zoom in, zoom out, etc. Not really important for now, but this is very important. Always, whenever you perform any operation on GeoGebra, make sure you go back and hit this button, the first one, move. Otherwise, the command or the option which is being clicked, it will remain active unless you are clicking on this. Let me show you one example. Let's say this is the polygon. I'm going to click on polygon, and based on polygon, I have to select vertices and then first vertex again. So let me just click anywhere on this grid and look at this. It's going to create a polygon for me. But to complete the polygon, I have to go back to A if I want to create a quadrilateral. If I want to go for pentagon, then yes, definitely I can do that. And you are done. But once you're done, you should not click anywhere on this window, on this screen. Better you go back and click on the first button, which is called move. And now, once you clicked on move, you can move everything, anything on your screen. Let's say this, look at this. Now I can move this, I can move the polygon even. Wherever I want to place it, I can just place it. Or I can also move these points. Look, I can move these points. So you can adjust it anytime. Look, it was pentagon, now it got converted into rectangle. Now, any shape you can create with this, which may be useful for your, let's say, for your test, where you are not able to draw the shapes using Microsoft Word or other things. So this is a good tool for you, which you can use, and you can take screenshots, or you can export that image as well. So whatever you want to do, this is simple command I was showing you with this polygon. Click on polygon and you are done. If something went wrong, you want to delete it, definitely you can do. Let's say you want to delete the whole part. Just click on it, right click, I mean to say, and delete. You can delete. If you want to delete the points as well, definitely you can go here and delete one by one if you want. Otherwise, you can just click on one, keep clicking or pressing CTRL control button and do this way. It's the smart way. And now you can delete everything. So I have deleted it. Now, any question so far related to any operation, or which is more fascinating to you that yes, I want to do, or I want to create something from this point? Let's say ellipse, circle, or triangle, as you have seen. So if you have question, please ask. Otherwise, I'll continue, because I'm going to show you few things which you can freely create. For that purpose, I'm going to create two sliders. Which, because I want to have my free point. Definitely, you can just do this without slider as well. But okay, I'm going to show you both ways. I'm clicking on a point and clicking anywhere on this grid. Look, now this is 2 and 2. I want to use this point as my vertex of my parabola, right? But now you can see if I use x minus 2 square and plus 2, yeah, it is my vertex, right? But what if I can move it? My parabola is not moving, right? Because what happened, I just used the coordinates of A. I didn't use the point A technically, which you can use definitely. There are ways. One way is, let me show you here. I'm going to hide it. You can easily hide anything here. Just click on that. It's gone. You can delete or you can just hide it. What you can do, I'm going to type same thing. X minus x of, because x of A, I want to consider x coordinate of A, right? Square plus y coordinate of A. Now this is really handy tool, I'm telling you, right? Because I was not even aware about this tool in my first or second year when I was using this software. So something which is really handy for you, which you can just use x of A and y of A. Now, if you move A, your parabola will move. Look at this. And that's the difference of creating parabola in these two different ways. If you get confused, okay, I don't want to consider x because my students may confuse that why I'm using x and x 2 times and y here. That's, yeah, definitely students will be confused. So for that purpose, what you can do, just create your alphabet for vertex. Let's say I'm going to use h, right? Just use any random value. Let's say h equals to 3. Okay, enter. Look, automatically it will create slider for you. This facility was not available last year or even 2 years ago. So these are recent things which GeoGebra is updating. Now, similarly, you can create k equals, let's say 4 and click enter, right? The alphabets can be anything, as I said. Now, the sliders are automatically created for you. You don't need to do anything. Now, what I'm going to use, I'm going to use these points for my vertex. X minus h square, sorry, square plus k. I know there could be questions that how I'm typing these powers and etc. Don't worry. You have your keypad. Everything on your keypad will work here. But if you struggle for something, hit this button. Look at this. On bottom left corner, we have this. So you can use this powers, square roots, less than, greater than, modulus, anything you want to use. Everything is here. Look. So you don't need to worry about this. So what happened now? Yeah, we haven't created a point hk. Let's create it at comma k. Look, now the point has been created as well. Look, I can drag my point anywhere where I want. My h and k values are changing. You can see from this slider. So it's very easy and it's both ways, right? You can move sliders. Look, so if you're teaching something related and you want to use it freehand, then definitely this is the technique and this can be used in anything. And you could use as factors also. Let's say I'm going to use x minus h and x minus k, right? Let's say I just want to use like that. So if you move your h, look, the root, let me hide the other parabolas, right? So look, the roots are changing. The roots are changing because I'm just changing one root. So this way you can actually play around with the sliders. Similarly, you can also use in trigonometric functions. Because I have seen students sometimes they struggle to understand the meaning of every component in a proper trigonometric functions. So what they can use, let's say I'm not going to use amplitude. Okay, let's say A is the amplitude. So A equals to 2. A is my slider for amplitude. And H and K I'm going to use. If you want, I can delete that and create another one. Shall we delete or not? Just tell me. I'm using A times, just type SIN. Immediately it will show you. Sine, let's say I'm going to use B times, right, X minus H plus K. Right, sorry, because I think it will take arc sine. So I'm not using, what is the error? Okay, B is the error, sorry. B we don't have. I think we have to define B first of all. Yes. It's fine. We can delete it and type it again because B was not defined. Let's define B as well. So B equals to 1 and you just press enter the slider. And yeah, if you can control these values. You just click here, go to settings and change anything, whatever you want. The minimum values, maximum values, the increment also you can change. You can make it repeat, oscillating, increasing, decreasing, etc. There are lots of options which you can use. So here, let me just show you, and then I will show you again what I did. Y equals A sine B times, let's say X minus H plus K, right? So now all my sliders can be used here. So look at B. B is actually HK, right? So see, I can even move my graph using that point. So if HK is 0, look, now if I go to sliders, both H and K are 0 and 0. So if I move any slider, let's move one. So look, it is moving on the right hand side. If I'm moving left, it's moving left, right? Let's keep it at 0. Okay, 0, done. Now we can move K. K is for vertical, so you can easily show the vertical things. One more thing, interesting thing, forgot to share. Click on this and go to settings. Click on this show trace. Now you move any slider. Look at this, what is happening. So you are actually tracing it up and down. And students can create any artwork using this, right? So if you click anything up, you can clear this as well. Don't worry. You can just go to settings again and show trace. It's gone. Don't worry. It's not permanent. Now, H and K sliders we have seen. What is going to happen with A and B? Look at this. So A is going to decide the amplitude. So you can, let's put this at 0 so that we can see this. So A is my slider, which is increasing my amplitude. You can see this, right? And B is gonna change the period, right? So I know you guys are perfectly aware about these properties. I'm just repeating so that you can actually add any number here, A, B, C, D, whatever. So any questions so far, please ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna show you this thing again, if this was something interesting to you. Otherwise, we can move to something next. Yes, please, Yogita ji, just ask. If you can unmute, okay, yeah.
The sine function, you have written A sine of xb minus h plus k. So this function takes k of which point? Because we have mentioned so many points.
Now, K is the slider, right? We have defined the slider K. Can you see this? K equal to 0. That's why I was saying, let me delete other stuff so that you don't get confused. Let me delete everything which is not relevant to this trigonometric function.
So we need to define all the constant sliders.
Correct.
Like
yeah. You have to define first so that you can make use of them. Now look, I hope you can see now. Let me delete. Okay, B is fine. At least B we would like to see. A we can also delete because we are not using it. Now you can see this. Now these are the sliders. H, K, B. See, the thing is, these are defined for everything now for this particular page. right?
Yeah,
If you
correct.
go to another page and then you are going to use H and K, then again you have to define. But the concept is, once these sliders are defined, you can use for any function. So let me just type y equals to a times x minus h square plus k, right? Now I have created a quadratic function, but both h and k are associated with this as well. As soon as I change my h and k, right, you can see this. So they are changing. They're not actually saying that, yeah, you can't change it, or it's been used for sign and you cannot use it for other functions. That's not the case. Once you have defined, you can use it for any function.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Which was, I hope everybody is clear here. Let me tell you again, there are two ways of doing this thing. Number one, you hit on this button, which says slider. But the easier one is just go to the algebra view. This is called algebra view, where you are able to type anything, right? And you define any constant here, constant related to the things which you are going to use, right? I think last time also we did use sliders for rotation and for angles. So same way you can create for any purpose, anything. Okay, I don't think so there are questions. So let's move to something else, right? I'm going to create another file. Going to GeoGebra now. GeoGebra.org. You can save it. Sorry if I didn't mention this. You can always save this. Click on these three bars, right? And save. Just give a file name and save it on your system. On your system means you should have your login, right? You have your account, it will be saved. Let me save with the name 28th August, right? And if I go back to my home page and go to your profile, you will be able to see this. Look, 28th August. Anytime you can access, anytime you can actually change whatever you want. What you have to do, you can also share with your teachers, your colleagues, and other friends. So what you have to do, there are three dots. Click on this. If you want to edit, right, open in app. Do not click on edit activity, because this is not the activity you have created. This is just the page. So better you open in app. I'll tell you what is the difference in these two things: open in app and edit activity. Copy activity means you can actually make copy of this. Let's say I have created few activities and you want to reuse my activity. So you can make copy of that. You can delete my name from the author's name, because if you click on this, you will see that its author name is whosoever created that file, right? So that can be easily uh, removed. So what you have to do, just make copy of that. Just copy this activity, right? And which means this content is with you now, and you can change the author name. Publish means this will be publicly available for anyone to access. If you are not making it public, it means it will be only within your account. So nobody can access without sharing link, right? If you have shared the link, then only they can access, otherwise they cannot access this. So these things also very, very important, because sometimes we know what to do and we actually lose stuff. So better you save them and reuse and try to edit them again and again. So I have seen, look at this. This activity was created 3 years ago. It is in 3D. It's just loading. Yeah. Now, there were some things which I found, okay, no, I want to change something in this, right? So this was the sitting area in my school's courtyard. What happened actually? So I thought, why we can't create it, because it has a proper shape. We could create for irregular shapes also, but it was the proper shape. I thought and I created it. So I was just editing this last week, I think. So I could access it whatever I have done. So I could see, yes, what is happening and whatever things I have done. So I could actually change. So I wanted to show to my students also that they can also do this type of stuff. So look, I'm just changing the angle. Angle is 0 degree. Now angle is 180 degree because it is a semicircular thing. That's complete. So students can have different views in order to understand how many layers are there, what is the thickness. You can explain anything. This is done in 3D. So I will come to this slightly. Few things I'll tell you today and few things in the next session. Okay, so please, I want your go ahead for you using sliders for another example or another question. If you are okay with that, I can actually do that now. I just clicked on the classic 6 as I did previously. So yeah, I'm on this page now. I didn't hear any question, but yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. This session is gonna end in 7 minutes, which means the recording will stop in 7 minutes and we'll rejoin on the same link. So please stay tuned and stay connected. And okay, so any question related to sliders, or shall we use another example here? Because we have 7 minutes, we should not use something different at least now. What you have to do, think about the constants which you are going to use in the question and define them here, like a equals 1 or b equals 3, something like that. This is one way. Second is click on this and create slide. Select position. Position means anywhere on the screen you can select. I've selected here. The name is automatically coming. C equals to 1. Minimum is -5. Maximum is 5. Increment I can also define. If I don't want, let it be. Right. So let's take angle this time. Let's create a polygon and change some angles. Alpha, typing alpha is difficult here because alpha is by default. So I'm changing its name. So let's say giving C as my angle, right? You can define anything. It's in degrees, right? I'm gonna click hit, right? Now C is 45 and I can move it from 0 to 360, right? So let's create two lines and then see what is gonna happen if I change angle between them, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go to this line portion or segment or line, so whatsoever you want to use. So segment, let's say I have just this segment. Now I want to have another line which is inclined or at this angle C, right? So you can just type it angle like that, or because we want to, yeah, here angle with the given size or just angle. So you can click on this angle with given size. When you click on this, it will ask you select the leg point, vertex, and then enter the size. Size I know C, right? So let me click again so that you can read the instructions. Leg point, vertex, and then size. So what I'm going to use, this is the leg. Sorry, I should have clicked here. Yeah. So it's there. Yeah, okay, it's asking me what is I'm going to use, clockwise or counterclockwise, right? So just click here and look, the angle is there. So but it didn't ask me the value, right? So I could have, let me delete this first. Okay, segment is there because I want to use this angle. So let me just give you another example for rotation or reflection, because that way you will understand better. So let's say I have a regular polygon here, 4 vertices. If I'm rotating it, let's say I'm typing rotate, or what you can do, you can go here, rotate around a point or around the line. So let's click on this, rotate around the point, select the object. I'm selecting polygon 1. Then I'm going to select a point A, and then I'm going to use angle here. Angle I'm going to use C, right? Because C is my angle, right? Go to move. Now you change your angle. Look at this. If you define angle as your slider, you can also change this point. Look. I know this segment was not required the way how we planned, but just giving you a quick example so that you can see now what is happening here. So this was one way of doing it. Another thing, what we were trying to do, angle with given size. I'm gonna select this and write C there. Now I can change my angle. Look at this. Let me actually, yeah, you can see both ways. Look at this now. What I did actually, I created angle at the edge A so that I can see the angle, right? So look, the point B is actually that what is happening to this point B, and you can move it anywhere. And what you can do, one more thing, let's say it's on 360 degree, you can actually connect lines, segments from A to C, and here, I think here will help. Let me just see if we did. No, actually we have to click on this point. Let me delete this. Better, we create point on the object. Point on object, click on this corner, make sure it will move along with the shape. Look, now we can actually use this segment just to show the properties related to rotation and other things and angle. Now you can see this. Look. I think we took a wrong angle there because G should be here. So this way you can actually do this. So I'm going to connect again. So please join back if you want to see more examples like this, because it's going to end very soon. Let me stop the recording now.